Hello, this is Essie, the rich woman, and it's been a while since I made a video because I've been busy working and cooking and running errands. Um, so today is Tuesday. It's 5:15 p.m. Um, I didn't have a whole lot to do today. I went out, ran a couple of hours errands, and came right back home. I'm going to cook in my pressure cooker. I want to bake a chocolate cake tonight. I got me some vanilla ice cream. So I'm gonna put a little chocolate icing on it, not much. And then when I want to eat it, I'm going to slice it and put it in the microwave and warm it up a little bit, and then give me a scoop of ice cream. So you know that's gonna be good. But anyway, so I'm planning on doing my laundry around like 7:30, 7:45, because the laundry room closed at 10. So I got a bunch of towels that need washing, a lot of towels. So so I wanted to make this video because I have noticed something. You know how when you go through life, you don't pay attention to things until someone pointed out to you. For example, when I was going to the senior center years ago, and this was during the time I've been home, I was homeless, and I started going to the senior center, and I met this black lady, and we were talking one day, and she was talking about white people, mostly white women. She said, "Do you notice like when you're in the store and you're walking down the aisle, and when you see them coming, you just automatically move out of the way?" And I was like, "Yeah." She said, "They don't move out of your way. You just automatically move out of their way, and they expect for you to move out of their way." And I was like, "Hmm." And so I never noticed it. It's just a thing that we just do, a lot as black women. Maybe Mexican women do it too. I don't know. But pay attention, black women, when you're in the store and you're walking down the aisle. If you see a white woman come in directly in front of you, if you automatically move, because a lot of times, like when she said that to me, when it happened, I just automatically moved, and I was like, "Oh," and I thought about what she said, and I was like, "I just did it. I just automatically moved. She didn't move over. She just kept coming straight towards me." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So there was a couple of times I was like, it was a white woman with a basket coming towards me. I was like, "I am not moving," and I didn't move, and she had to walk around me, and you should have saw the look on her face. She really expected for me to move, and I didn't. And she had to walk around me, and she didn't like it. So yeah, pay attention to that, black women, when you're in the store. How if a white woman is approaching you, you just automatically move. But yeah, you need to stop doing that. you know. So so when I catch it, I don't move. I don't move. I stand there and let them walk around. I mean, this has been happening for years and years and years. Like, and they expect for you to move. And that's the thing that bothers me. They expect for you to move. Like, they're no better than no one else. No other woman. They're no better than no other woman. So anyway, so like that. But I would have still been moving if that woman hadn't pointed that out to me. So I want to point something out to you that are probably you. And when I say you, I'm talking about anybody with a darker skin tone. So I'm not just talking about black women. I'm talking about if you're Mexican and you have a darker skin, if you're whatever race, if you're Indian and you have a darker skin, whatever race you are, if you have darker skin, I want you to pay attention to the people that are this color. And when I say this discolor, I don't just mean white people. I mean Mexicans that are discolor, and also Asians that are discolor, and black people that are discolor. Because there is some black people that are really light skinned. Like yesterday, I was in a drive-through line at In-N-Out, and I thought there was a white girl standing there taking the order. Sometimes, they don't let you do your order through the call box. There'll be a girl standing there or a guy standing there, and they have the thing and they take your order. Well, I thought it was a white girl. When I got close to her to give her my order, I could see clearly she was black. She was black, but she was like this. But I could see her facial features. She was a pretty girl, but I could see her facial features. She was black. Now, she might have been biracial, but she was definitely a black woman. So when I say these people, I'm talking about any race that are these people. Now, the black men will call the black women that are this color, they might call them red bone. And then some of them, they'll say, call them high yellow. But notice when those people are in your life, I'm talking to you that are any race that has darker skin tone. When those people that are in your life, pay attention how they treat you, right? So I have noticed that for us with a darker skin tone, we do for them. We do for them. We help them. We give to them. We do a lot for them, and that's what they expect. Pay attention. That's what they expect. You hardly ever come across them that would do for you the way you do for them. And I have been noticing that. I had a light-skinned friend, real light-skinned friend. I had noticed I was always doing for her, always giving her, always doing favors for her. It was hardly ever the other way around. And even when I got to the point where I needed help, no, she was too busy running after men. She was too busy giving her money to men. She was too busy buying men something to eat. She was too busy doing for men. My friend that I had did so much for over the years, now I'm at the point where I could not help me because she was too busy giving her money to a man. So this is what I'm saying about. And then I have a friend, same way. I have a friend that's this color, same way. She do so much to the people in her life that are this color. And I asked her, I said, if it was the other way around and you needed help and that person was in a position to help you, do you think she would do that for you? And she texts me back, hell no. And I'm like, I already know the answer. I already know the answer before I asked her, but I wanted to know if she knew. And she's like, hell no, she wouldn't do that for her. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you know that. I'm glad you know. But notice that. Pay attention to that. And it is what made me start paying attention to it is one day I was watching a video and it was a white woman and she was talking about they were going through, I think they were going through like a nursing school or class or something. And she was saying how many races was in this. I think she had said it was like 6 women and 3 were white or 4 were white, 2 were black. And she was saying that this one black lady in the class was acing everything, was just acing everything. She was feeling some type of way about it. She was a white woman. She was feeling some type of way about it. So she was thinking to herself, like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I feel about this black woman that's acing everything, that's outdoing her? Why do I feel this way about this woman? And then she had to search within herself. And she found the answer. And she said it's because of the programming on the TV, in the news, and in movies and stuff like that, that they program white people to think that black women is here to help them, is here to assist them. They they program white women to think that black women will never be nothing but their help. Black women are here to help white women. Black women are here to assist white women. And she realized that that's why she had a problem with this black woman acing everything and outdoing her. Because in her mind, she felt like she had been programmed to think that black women should only be helping white women, not do better than white women, not exceed past white women, but to be there to help them and assist them in everything they need. And I was like, wow. I was so glad she made the video because I didn't know that this is the way white women think about black women. I didn't know that. So, um, and it's not just white women, it's any race that is this color. I have been noticing it when I look back in my past, and I told you I had a real light skinned black friend. She was the same way. She was the same way. Um, Even people in recent you know time, I have noticed they're the same way. They just expect for us with darker skin to just do for them, go over and beyond to give, and they not fully pay us for what we do. They expect for black women with this color, just people with this color. They expect for people with darker skin to just go out of their way for them, for and to do for them with no payment or very little payment. So a lot of times those people could not get that from people that look like them. They do not expect that from people that look like them. They only expect it from people with this color tone. They expect you to do because they have set themselves up here and you're down here. Now they may not be doing it on purpose. Some of them may be doing it on purpose, but some of them may not be doing it on purpose. Like that white woman I just said, she said, "Why do I feel this way?" And she had to search within herself to find out the reason why she was feeling this way. So they may not be doing it on purpose, some of them, you know. But I think that people with darker skin tone, you need to pay attention to that. And you need to not let yourself be used and abused. And it's good to help people, but I have a problem when people expect for me to help them. That's my problem. Because when I do for you, it's because I'm doing from my heart. But don't expect for me to do it because you think that you're better than me, whether you aware of it or not. You think you better than me because you're lighter skin. Don't expect for me because I'll show you that I don't think that you're up here and I'm down here. I'll show you real quick that I don't think you're up here. So women, and I don't know about men, I don't know, but I know with women. So women with pay attention. Pay attention to the people that are in your life. Pay attention to how they treat you. Pay attention to how much you do for them. Pay attention to how much they expect for you to do to them. And pay attention to how much they never return the favor. Even when if you get down and you need their help, they never return the favor to you. Pay attention to that, you know, and stop allowing yourself to be used. Bring them down, bring them down to where they need to be up here. They need to be brought down. And stop thinking that people with darker skin are supposed to do for them because they have lighter skin. So yeah, that's really the main thing I want to talk about. It kind of like makes me sick when people are around me and they treat me like that. It bothers me. So like I say, I don't mind helping, but you know, and some of them will, they expect so much of you where it's basically hum how can I say this? Impossible. Humanly impossible for you to live your life and do the things that you have to do and then help them at the same time because they're requiring so much from you to the point where if you was to say yes to everything they ask and expect of you, you would be no good. You couldn't even get what you need to get done because you are doing and giving so much to them. You making yourself exhausted because you're doing and giving so much to them. So pay attention to that because people will use you and they will use you up. So that's what I want to talk about. It was something else I wanted to talk about. Um, Hold on a minute. I remember. So this is a whole totally different topic, but I know it's been going all over social media about Brian McKnight and how he treated his kids from the black woman and how he's treating his kids from, I don't know if the woman is white or Mexican. I don't know what race she is. She's one of these. So they have really been dragging Brian McKnight through the mud because of how he treats his black kids. They're his black adult kids. And so now he has married this woman and they don't start having kids. So I've been seeing stuff about them talking about Brian McKnight. And so Brian McKnight did a interview with Anton Daniels. I do not like Anton Daniels. I can't stand him. I'm not subscribed to his channel. Anton Daniels he's not a black American. He's I think his family is from is it Jamaica? One of them areas. It's not from here. So he does not like black Americans. He talks down on black Americans. So that's why I don't like him. When they was talking about giving us reparations, you're like, don't give them nothing. Don't give them nothing. They don't deserve anything. And at first I thought he was black American. And I'm like, why would a black American say no to getting reparations? I'm like, what? And the way he was like, don't give them. And so it was another man that pointed out that Anton Daniels is not black American. He might have been born here, but his family is not from here. And I was like, oh, so that's why he talks down about us. And that's why he was like, no, don't give them reparations. I'm like, oh, okay. So, I'm starting to see who is who and what is what when it comes to when you hear a black person constantly saying negative things about black American, they may not be black American. So they may be, they could have been born here or not, or their parents, grandparents was born somewhere else and they came here. And so they start talking like us. And then we can't tell who is who and what is what, but they can switch their accent on and off at will and talk Jamaican talk accent, or what Belizean accent, wherever accent they come from. But they get here and they talk like we talk. Anyway, um so I was Brian McKnight. I guess he's being dragged so much through the mud. So he go on Anton Daniels and do an interview. Now he said Joe Budden. He reached out to Joe Budden and they didn't respond. I think he said he reached out to somebody else. So because I was wondering why did he go on Anton Daniels show? Anyway, so that's what he said. So I'm like, okay, so that's probably why he went on Anton Daniels, because the other ones wouldn't respond back to him. I guess want to keep the negativity going because negativity sells. So so he went on Anton Daniels and he was telling his side of the story. And so I was listening to him and he talked about, now I heard one of his sons passed away, I think from cancer, and they never had a chance to amend their relationship with him and Brian McKnight. But so Brian McKnight gave the story of how he did for his sons, how he got them an apartment, and they were 24 and 21. He got them an apartment. He paid for it for a year for them so they can, get up on their feet and start doing for themselves. He said after that year was up, they hadn't got anything done. He said, okay, I'll give them another year. He said he paid for apartment again for another year. He said he was helping them with their with their life, trying to be successful in life. They wanted to go into music. He said they had did a rap song. He said that was doing pretty good. He said that, but they quit because it was taking too long. When you go into something, it takes a while sometimes. It takes a while for it to get up off the ground. You have to be patient with it. But if it's something you love, you stick with it. You just keep doing it. But for them, they felt it was taking too long, so they jumped out of the music business. So he said that one of his sons, I'm going to say, use this word, was a junior. One of his black sons was a junior. He said when he would travel that he was detained because they were looking for his son, the junior. And because he has the same name as his son, he said that he was detained. So he said that when he got married to this woman he's with now, he said that one of his sons, oh, I forgot this part. One of his sons had got a woman pregnant twice, 2 times. And then told the woman that his father was going to pay for everything. Yes. Then he says when he gets married, Brian McKnight get married to this white woman or whatever race she is. He got married to her. They got a place. He said, now that son that had the 2 kids, now he got a new girlfriend and a child with this new girlfriend. And he calls his father, asks could he move in with them. And I'm thinking to myself, hell no, no, I would not want my grown adult kid, and I'm with another person, and we having a family, and I got a grown adult kid want to move in with his girlfriend and a new child. So he said that he stopped everything. Then he just stopped, and then he didn't let him move in with them. He said that he went on social media in 2019 and started saying that his father abandoned them, that Brian McKnight abandoned them. Now, this is Brian McKnight's side of the story. So when Brian McKnight has a baby with the new wife, he gives that baby Junior. Now, he already got a Junior with the black woman, but he gives this baby the name Junior. And then he go and he changes his middle name to match the new baby middle name. And so basically now the new baby is a junior, and his older son that was a junior, now the middle name is different. So he's really, I guess I don't know what to say about that, But he's not a junior anymore because the father, Brian McKnight, changed his middle name to the new little baby's name. So now his baby is a junior, the little one. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about, because the person that was doing the video was like, "What do you think about it?" And sometimes I think about certain things, and I was like, okay. I was thinking I can see him changing his middle name, especially if you being a famous person, you're gonna fly often, and you don't want to have to deal with being detained because you and your son has the same name. I can understand him changing his middle name for that reason only. If your son is out there, your junior is out there getting in trouble, and now you being detained for what he's doing, I can understand you changing your middle name for that purpose only. But the thing about it is, I don't think it's right to have a new baby, give that baby the junior status now, and you didn't change your middle name to match the new baby's name. That's not right. That's like, to me, like you're abandoning the other junior son. Like this one is taking your place now. So I don't agree with that. I agree with him changing the middle name, but he should not have another son and call that one junior and give that one, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that part is right about it. But I do agree, who wants to be, if your junior's out there getting in trouble, who wants to be detained and held up for that nonsense? I can understand that, but that's not right, giving this new baby junior status. I said, because sometimes I feel like these black men are, when you got to marry or you got to get with these colored people because you want your child to come out lighter skin. I feel like that's self-hatred. Your mama black, your daddy black, you black, your aunties, everybody black, but then you want to have kids by a lighter skinned person because you want your kids to be light skinned. To me, that's self-hatred. And the only way that comes is from um, you being, what's the word? You letting the world influence you. These people have control over the TV. They have control over the news, the radio. They put out what they want to be held up like this. And it's, of course, it's going to be them. They the one who owns the station. They the one who has the most money. So of course they're gonna put these people up here. They're gonna put these people all over the TV and stuff. So you letting the world influence you to think that you're less than. So now you as a black man got to go get and marry this type of woman and have kids with this type of woman because you want to be accepted. That's a weak-minded person to me. This is all you date. This is all you marry. This is all you only want kids with this. That's a weak-minded person. So, another thing about that is when Brian McKnight having a lot of money coming up, when his kids were black kids. I'm talking about the black kids. When his kids were young, he had a lot of money. He was, successful. So a lot of times when you rich like that, all you do is give, give, give to your kids. You spoil your kids. And then when they get grown, you never taught any type of structure in their life. You never said clean this room, or once you do this, once you do your chores in the house, then I would give you a weekly allowance. You just gave without them having to do anything for it. So now they're in their 20s, and now they're not children anymore, and you starting to be disgusted about how much you have to give to them. You like, you're grown now, get up and do for yourself. But no, you didn't teach them to do for themselves. You didn't teach them, once your chores is complete, then I give you your allowance. No, you just gave and gave and gave. And now when they're in their 20s, they still expecting for you to give, give, and give. And now you don't want to give. It's not just always the kids' fault. It's the parents too, because you raised them that way. So I had a friend years ago. Me and this girl, we would go places together. She loved going to the club. I ain't never been a club type of person, but I would go with her to the club. So, we would hang together and stuff. We would go shopping and all this stuff. And she, for a while, it was just her and her daughter. Now, she spoiled this girl. She did get married. I knew her husband. She got married later on. And she had a daughter with the husband. But she spoiled her first daughter. Just gave and gave and gave to this first daughter. So now she's got this husband. She got another little girl. And so the husband is complaining about the daughter. She just turned 18. Now he's complaining about her. She needs to get out. She needs to grow up, and she needs to move out. She needs to do for herself and all this stuff. And so my friend gonna tell me that, there's thing about putting her out. I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not gonna put her out. You spoiled her. You made her that way. And now you trying to tell me you gonna put her out? I said, that don't make sense. And they sitting up complaining about her. She don't do this, she don't do that. You made her that way. Like when you spoil a child, and I don't have kids, but this is just common sense. When you spoil a child and you just give, 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 and now they're 18, you program them, you condition them to think that they don't have to do anything. That you're just going to give, give, give to them, and they don't have to do nothing for it. How can they program themselves when they turn 18 to not expect anything from you? How can they program themselves, okay, I need to go and I need to take care of myself, and I need to get a job, and I need to do this and that? How can they program themselves to stop expecting their parent to give to them since they've been a little baby? When you spoil your kids, that's just what happens. Now they adults and they still want to be spoiled. Now, when I was growing up, my parents didn't spoil me. My parents didn't spoil me and my sister. They gave, they bought us clothes and shoes and stuff like what you do for kids. But we did not get no weekly allowance. And we had chores that we had to do around the house. And then when summertime came, we had summer jobs. And when we worked our summer jobs, that was, my mother would take some of our money from our summer jobs and hold it until it gets closer for us to go to school. And then she would take that money that we had made all through the summer that we gave her to hold. She would take that money and we would go clothes shopping with that money that we worked from our summer jobs. It didn't come out of her pocket when we became of age where we can work the summer. When we was in elementary, yeah, it came out of her pocket. But once we became teenagers, I don't know what the age is where you can start working summer jobs. But when we became that age where we could start working summer jobs, when we got our little check, we had to give her a certain amount of that check. And that was for clothes for when we start school in September. But yeah, we did not get no weekly allowance just because, we didn't get no weekly allowance. My father gave us money um, to eat at school every day. He gave us a few dollars every day so we could eat at school. But that was it. And they made sure we had, clothes, and we got stuff for Christmas. But some of these parents, I see y'all be really spoiling these kids. I mean, spoiling because you have it. And then when they get grown, now you disgusted because they grown and they still expecting for you to give. And you have to blame yourself for that as well because you spoiled the child. You programmed them that way. So that's all I have to say about that. I don't I don't agree. I think Brian McKnight is to blame for his kids, for the black kids wanting to not work and expecting for him to just give them because he programmed them that way when they were kids. They probably didn't have no choice. He had plenty of money. And he spoiled them, and now they're adult kids, spoiled adult kids now. So that's partially his fault. He didn't raise them that way to have chores and to do this and do that first, and then I will give you something. It's some kids that they may live on farms and stuff like that, and they have to get up early in the morning and go through things out on the farm like they grown adults. It's some kids that got so much work they got to do and go to school. I know my mother would tell me about when she was growing up in Mississippi. She said when they get out of school, they had to go chop cotton. So my mother is the second oldest daughter. And so they had a whole row. I guess a row would be like a long row of cotton, like cotton field, and those rows are long. So she had her row to do. And then because um, her oldest sister, the firstborn, had she was legally blind, so my mother would have to help her with her row. And my mother used to get mad because she would say my her sister would be standing there talking, holding conversation while she's working, and then doing her row too. So it's a in my mother and her sisters, I would say out of all of them, because it's four girls and one boy. The boy, I would say, is the only one that's spoiled to the T. Yeah, he was. I saw firsthand when I went back there to visit before my grandmother passed. I was like, damn, he's just spoiled. Yeah, but my grandma passed away, so he had to grow up. But out of all the girls, I didn't see where they, was spoiled. They all got up and this when my mother and one of the other, well, actually it was, yeah, they all got up and started working except for the one that was the oldest that's legally blind. She's disabled, so because of her, she can't see too good. So she's disabled. She can't, like, even when we go to the ATM machine, she can't see the ATM machine. I used to go with her and put in her pen and take out the money for her and give it to her. So she can't even see the ATM machine to see the buttons and stuff like that. So she's the only one that's disabled and she get money. But the other three, my mother and the other two sisters, they have worked all their life. None of them expected for my grandmother to take care of them and to give to them. And that's because when they were growing up, they had to get out there on that field after work and chop that cotton. So when they became grown, they didn't expect my grandmother to do for them and to give them, because my grandmother didn't do that, didn't spoil them like that. So you adults, you parents that spoil your kids so much, don't require anything from them, and then when they get in their 20s, now you like, you need to get out there and work. You want me to do everything. You want me to give everything. Yeah, that's what you've been doing all this time. So what's different now that they became an adults? You didn't teach them to get out there and do for themselves. So yeah, that's it. But on a different note, I've been in my apartment now for going on, I think, 5 months. July, August, September, October, December, October, November. I skipped the whole month, November. So this, at the end of this month, it'll be 5 months that I've been in my apartment. I was talking to Yahweh and I was saying I have not had so many problems this quick in an apartment, in any apartment that I have lived within. I would say this, I have had the most issues in this apartment in this less amount of time. I haven't even been 6 months. I've been in here. I had to complain. I had to complain about the man upstairs. We listened to the loud music. Um, but that seemed to be okay now. One day he was listening to, when I would complain on him through the office, when I emailed the office, he would get worse. So one day he was listening to his music. And I was like, this is crazy. I shouldn't be able to hear his music in my apartment. So I saw him outside. I went and opened my patio door and I caught him. And I said, why do I have to hear your music in my apartment? And he said, you want me to turn it down? I was like, yeah, I will appreciate that. So he went right upstairs and turned it off. And then he left with him and his buddies, and they went to the buddies' apartment. And I was like, is that all it took? I guess he didn't like me going to the manager about it. He wanted me to ask him, and when I asked him, he turned it down, and he turned it off. But it's been okay ever since then. I have had no issues with him. He hasn't been playing the music loud. Every now and then I guess one of the songs hit him real bad, and he has to turn up the music loud. But he let that song play loud. He sings with it, and then he turns it back off or he turns it real low. And so he's been doing pretty good with the music. So I was like, thank you, Yahweh, for that. So then I did have an issue. Okay, at my door, there's four other doors. So it's 3 stories. And then by each door, there's 4 doors, mine's and 3 other apartments. So all our doors are right together. So next to me, there's a man. He lives by himself. He had one little dog, and now he got 2 dogs because he said that somebody had to leave and they were going to take the dog to the pound, and they saw him walking his dog and they asked him, did he want the dog because they're going to take him to the pound. So he took the dog. So now he got 2 little dogs. So I really like his dog. His dog is a girl dog. Both of them are girls, but I really love his dog. It's the dog with the tail that flips up, curls over. It's not the big dog. It's a smaller dog. I would say it's not a tiny dog, but it's still considered a small dog. And then he got the little Chihuahua that somebody gave him. But he said he's looking for a home for the little Chihuahua. I don't care for Chihuahuas, so I didn't want that dog. The dog seemed like it's a sweet dog. I never hear they don't bark. I never hear them bark. But it seems like it's a sweet Chihuahua. But yeah, I don't like Chihuahuas like that. But I do like his dog. I really like his dog. But and then next to him is a black woman with three boys. They were slamming their door every time they walk out. And then when she would have other kids over, they would be constantly in and out, slamming the door, slamming the door. They have a spring on these doors and they automatically slam. If you don't catch them, it slams. I don't know what genius idea thought to put the springs on the doors to make them slam closed like that. I don't know. But they put that on all the doors. So if you don't catch the door and close it gently, it will slam. And so it was annoying the hell out of me. And when it slammed, I'd be like, you know how you'll jump because it's just so loud. So I caught her outside one day and I talked to her about, the noise, the slamming of the doors is really loud. It's coming through my apartment. And so when I talked to her, she stopped the kids from slamming the door. So they don't slam the door anymore. I was like, thank you, Yahweh, for that. So now my issue is these kids. Because there's three boys right here. Now they're smaller boys, but you know how girls are. My mama had this issue when she adopted five boys. The girls was always at her house after the boys. So I believe that's why these girls are always coming over here. It's because they're after those three little boys that live next to me. Now, across from me is a white woman with a 12-year-old girl, but she don't go outside and play anymore because they were messing with her, bullying her. She was getting into it with the kids, so she don't go outside and play anymore. But the reason I believe why the kids are hanging over here by my apartment is because of the three little black boys. But even when the three little black boys are not there, like, because they're gone this week, I think they're gone for the Thanksgiving weekend. And there's always kids around my apartment. It's like getting on my nerves. So the day the three little boys left, there was the black girls hanging out by my apartment. And they were loud. And so I opened the door and one of the boys said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I said, "Y'all don't live over here." Now, one of the black girls, she was like maybe 12, 13. She acted like she grown. That's how she act. She was sitting on the rail, her back was turned to me, and she just sat there and she like looked back at me like that, right? I said, he's like, "Huh?" I said, "Y'all don't live over here. Basically, you leave. Because why are you here?" And then he said, "Oh, we was waiting for the boys." I said, "They're not here. They left earlier, They're not here." See, right now there's kids hanging out by my apartment. I can hear them. So I said, "They're not here." And so I just stood there and looked at them. And eventually they walked away and the girl, she looked back again. I said, "I know I'm gonna have problems with this one right here." And then she slowly jumped, went over the rail and they left. So I was like, So I think what I'm gonna start doing is recording them. Once they hanging out right here by my door, I'm gonna come out with my recorder and ask them to leave. Just in case they want to get smart and cuss me out. Because these kids are something else. These kids today are something else. Kids raising kids. And it's like when I was growing up, we was not allowed to run in and out of the house. My mother was like, if you if you want to be inside, you be inside. If you want to go outside, you go outside. No running back and forth, back and forth. Either you do either one. Stay in or go out. And so, but here, no, these kids are not like they constantly running in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, why are you running in and out the house for? Uh, uh, these mothers of today. But I was like, why did they make apartments like this? Because I had asked the manager when I was turning in my information to move here, "Can you move all the older people by ourselves?" She was like, "No, I can't do that." I'm like, oh. But I was thinking, I said, when I become rich, if I decide to build an apartment building, you best to believe I'm going to build a building, and this building is going to have all one bedrooms. And then I build another building, and that building will have all 2 bedrooms. And another building, and that building will have all 3 bedrooms. And the 1 bedroom building would not be next to the 2 and 3 bedroom buildings. It just makes no sense to have these build a building with 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. And the single people, that's one person living in a 1 bedroom apartment, have to put up with all these kids. Now I noticed that since I've been doing Uber and doing food delivery, I go to a lot of apartments and I pick up people and stuff. And I noticed that the apartments that have this problem with the kids everywhere is the apartments with the HUD apartments, the low income apartments. I have a friend, I go into her apartment all the time. I never see kids playing and hanging out and walking around and sitting around. I never see that in her apartment. And I've been in her apartment many times. That's because her apartment is not low income, it's not HUD. But here, and then there's another apartment that I have been in right across the street from the Marietta Police Department. I believe that's another HUD apartment. I was told it was low income, but it might even be HUD. Right across from Marietta Police Department, that apartment right there, when you go in there to drop people off, kids everywhere, all up in that apartment playing. They got the whole drive area, the parking lot. They playing games. They all in the way. Yeah. So I noticed that that's the apartments that have the problem with the kids, the HUD and low income apartments. The ones that don't have low income or not HUD, you do not see all those kids hanging out in the parking lot and stuff. And the only thing I can see, because I know people have made statements about kids don't go out and play no more and be kids. They always on their computer. They're always on the playing games and stuff. I'm like, well, these kids, I guess the poor kids can't afford these games and stuff. That's the only thing I can see, because these kids over here, they be outside. Yeah, the HUD and low income, these kids be outside. And that's the only thing I can see is maybe they can't afford, their parents can't afford the games and all that stuff that would keep kids inside playing games and stuff all the time. Yeah, these kids be playing games, they be playing ball, they be playing hide and seek, they be playing all these games, they be riding a big wheel. Yep. So I guess that's what the poor kids do. And the kids with parents that got more money, they be inside on playing the game. But yeah, so I really wish that people that build apartments, when you're building these buildings, you know, build them where there's one building with all 1 bedrooms, another building with all 2 bedrooms, another building with all 3 bedrooms. So the people that live by themselves with no kids, maybe no husband, or a man with no wife, just a single person, they don't have to put up with all the noise that you have to put up with when there's a whole family, husband, wife, and kids, or just a mother with kids. They don't have to put up with all the noise and stuff from those apartments. So yeah. So I said, yeah, if I build a building when I get rich, that's how I'm gonna build it. But other than that, everything's been going good. I was just thinking today I really need to elevate myself. I was thinking when I moved in here, like how long I'm gonna be here. I know I'm not gonna be here for years and years and years. The lady across from me was telling me that I should move into this. I was telling her I really wanted to move into a senior place, and she was saying that there's an apartment building about 20 minutes from here in a different city, and she was saying that I think they take HUD. I think she said they take HUD. And she said it's really nice, and it's a 3-year waiting list. She said you should apply for that. I said, well, yeah, I'll be 52 in January, And she said the age is 55. She was like, yeah, you should go apply and get on that waiting list now, you know. I was like, well, that's a good idea. I have to find out more about this apartment, um, if it's HUD or what. But it's not the area that I would want to live in. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I'm thinking I can. I don't know if that's in the plan for me, but I can find out more about it. Try to get some information about it. So, um, I'm going to cook. What time is it? Oh, because I got to do laundry around about 7:30, 7:45. So I have a roast in the refrigerator. Now I never fixed a roast before, but I'm going to clean this roast off, and I'm going to season it, and I'm going to put it in my pressure cooker with some beef stock. I think it's beef stock, and I'm going to cut up some potatoes and put it in there, um, and some onions. I don't know if I'm gonna use bell pepper. I don't know. I probably put some bell peppers in there, but I'm definitely gonna put some onions in there. And so I'm gonna let it cook in a pressure cooker, and then I'm gonna bake that chocolate cake I was talking about earlier. So, cause I'm getting hungry, and I need to do laundry, and I really don't want to do laundry. I don't. Uh, I have to walk over to. I really wanted an apartment with a washer and dryer inside. I was really hoping that they have washer and dryers inside, but nope. So I gotta walk. I gotta walk across the way there to the laundry room. I really don't feel like it though. But I don't like doing laundry in the daytime. I just don't. I like to wait tonight and do my laundry. Well, to walk over there and do my laundry. I like to do it at night. I don't like doing it in the daytime because everybody else be doing their laundry in the daytime. Yeah, there's less people at night that do their laundry. And the laundry room closed at 10. I wish it wasn't no time limit on it because I'm a night owl. So I could go midnight, 1 o'clock in there and do my laundry and just be just fine, at that time doing laundry. So, um, Um, I still need to get things together. I'm still bringing things from my storage unit to my apartment. I thought I was finished, but I was like, okay, I can bring this, I can bring that. And so I brought some stuff yesterday from my storage unit to my apartment, um, which is good to get some of the stuff out of my storage unit. And I made space, extra areas to put stuff in my apartment building. So I need to get some organization going on up in here because I needed to get more organized in my storage unit. I got baskets and I got all kinds of stuff where I can try to organize my cabinet space. Because all these kitchen appliances that I was showing you guys in my other video, they just sitting on my counter. And so I have a cabinet here. I know everything can go in, but I need to move that food over to the pantry. I don't have no food in the pantry. I have other stuff. So I'm like, I need to start rearranging things and clear that shelf and move the food over to the pantry, and then I can put all those kitchen appliances in that cabinet and get it off the counter. Um, yeah, because it's just all in the way. So yeah, that's all I have to do. Tomorrow I have an appointment for ultrasound on my legs, but it's at 8 o'clock at night, which is good. So I can actually sleep in tomorrow. And then I plan on working on Thanksgiving. I work on Thanksgiving and I work on Christmas Day. And the reason why is because I don't celebrate it. I don't celebrate it. So I take the opportunity to make money on those days because people are spending money. So I take the opportunity to make the money. So, and plus, I know there's a lot of other drivers that are celebrating it that's not working. So people like the show must go on. You know what I'm saying? Everything don't stop because there's a holiday. There's still people that need to get to work and need to get home from work. So I really feel good when I'm out there working on Thanksgiving Day and on Christmas Day because people still need to get to work and people still need to get home from work. And it just makes me feel good when I get out there and work because I know there was times like on Thanksgiving, it was hard. No Uber drivers out. People were waiting a while for Uber. And it makes me feel good when I pick a person up and, and take them home from work or whatever. Um, when they've been waiting for a while for Uber. I feel helpful and useful. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing on Thanksgiving Day is working. So I only had 2 days off this week, which is today and Wednesday. Um, I've been helping this girl, Mexican girl, and yeah. So yeah, it's been a lot. Um, I don't want to tell all her business. She's going through some things, and is she's 21 and it is requiring a lot of me, and so she's been paying me, but I've been giving her like a discount because of what she's going through, and you know so anyway, I will talk to you guys in another video. I'm going to get up and start cooking because I'm getting hungry. And I hope that you guys are doing good. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I hope you have a great week. I hope you eat good, some good turkey and dressing. Um, I won't be cooking, but I do like turkey and dressing a lot. And so one of these days, I'm going to cook me a turkey and dressing. And I don't, I can do it any day I want to do it. Any day that I have the energy and the funds to buy it, I can cook it. So I was trying to call my mother. My aunt said my mother had a turkey in her deep freezer just sitting there. And I was like, well, shoot, I can take that turkey and I'll cook that turkey. But I've been trying to call her. She ain't answering the phone. I tell you, Lord have mercy. I know why she ain't answering the phone. I'm not gonna even say, but I'm so glad. I'm not bothered by the stuff that my mother do. She needs help. She really do. Um. Anyway, so yeah, I will talk to you guys in another video. Bye. Good night.